Hi, I'm Chef Laura. Welcome to High Heels and Aprons. Today we're going to do 3 great recipes. We're going to do a herb-crusted lamb with polenta and grilled vegetables, little appetizers which are beet and potato latkes topped with smoked salmon, and chocolate-covered grapes dusted with gold. So I like to start with dessert first, get it out of the way, and get a little sweetness going. So we want to make sure that the grapes are thoroughly washed and thoroughly dried. And the reason for that is that water reacts with chocolate and it will seize the chocolate, and you don't want that to happen. So I'm using seedless grapes. You can use green or red seedless grapes. It doesn't really matter. Just pick really tasty, juicy grapes. Taste them at the market first. So we've got this melted chocolate. And you just want to make sure that the grapes are nicely covered. And in the meantime, I have already got myself a tray with parchment paper, and that will keep it from sticking. There we go. One last one. Just like that. And I'm just going to use a fork because you can sort of drizzle the chocolate off just so it doesn't glob on there. And what you want to do, I find that groupings of 3 work best with the grapes. And these have a lot of punch to them. And you know, when you think about it, food and fashion totally go together. You know, who doesn't dress up when you go out for a lovely dinner? You want to look your best. Food bonds people. We meet and greet and eat and dress for it. So we're going to start off with a little splash. Put these together. And you know, chocolate is a bit of a mess to work with. I usually end up getting it all over. I'm not doing too badly here. Chocolate is one of those great play with your food kind of elements. So the reason that I'm doing the grapes first is they need a little bit of time to set in the fridge. So this way, while they're setting, you can work on the rest of your meal, and basically within an hour, you know, have a beautiful intimate dinner for 2 or however many. 2 to 4 is a pretty reasonable amount of time to get this ready. There we go, 1, 2, 3. We'll do 1 more. And then there's 3 each, and they're perfect little bite-sized things that you can sit down and have at the table, or retire into the sitting room and have a lovely glass of champagne with them. Now here is the gold. And these are edible gold flakes, and I'm just lightly dusting them over. They're beautiful. You do it while the chocolate is still setting, while it's still wet. Gold has a lot of healing properties to it too, which is a very cool thing about gold and edible gold. That's why they use it in dental work, and in the days of alchemists, they used gold as spiritual healing. Okay, so we're done. And there we go. These just get popped into the fridge, and half an hour to set, half an hour to an hour, and they're done. Okay, so next we're going to move on to the appetizer. Dessert is out of the way. For the appetizer, we are making little miniature beet and potato latkes, a spin-off on the, you know, traditional potato latke. Beets are awesome. They are so packed with nutritional value, and they'll give it a gorgeous color. So, beet latkes topped with mascarpone cream and a little bit of smoked salmon. Yum, who wouldn't love that? So let's take these potatoes and we'll strain them. They've been sitting in water because I didn't want them to oxidize. There we go. So this is your classic Idaho russet potato. And
I mean, you can use any kind of potato.
I just find russets are easiest. They're bigger, they're much faster to peel. And then we'll dump this in here. That's about a cup of beets to 2 cups of potato. We have a couple of eggs. And no shell, minus the shell. And we'll add about a half a cup of flour.
So let me just grab my spatula. These are great little finger foods. So they're, you know, great at parties. They look beautiful, which totally ties into fashion being a concept and fashionable food. So you just want to mix these all up. The flour binds it together. The flour and the eggs, little combination here will bind it. Now, I'm going to do a test one. I'll have the butter going. I'm using butter as opposed to oil because it will really give it a nice kind of browning texture and crisp it up a little bit.
So I've added salt and pepper also. You always want to season everything. Seasoning just brings the colors alive. The flavor's alive. The color's already alive. It brings the flavors alive.